Welcome to I Finally Get It. This week we have Blake Johnson, owner of Blake Johnson Insurance Agency. In studio with me today, as always, Dustin Webb, our producer. I'm your host, Jeff Martin. Let's get it.
I don't know if I finally get it, Jeff. Each day is different. Each year is different. There's always something to learn and grow from. And I say that I don't know if I finally get it because I guess a motto in my mind that I follow is what's next.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm always trying to figure out what's next, or maybe I feel like no matter what my year looks like or what I have going on, no matter how much success or failures I have, I really always feel behind, if that makes sense.
So tell me what you mean by feel behind.
So I guess that's probably my motivation or my back end of what drives me, if you will. Maybe I finally get that, hey, my motto is what's next, and I always feel behind, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, just to keep you going forward.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I would say that's my motivation and what I'm going after each and every day, and what gets me up every morning and drives me.
I really like the idea of, one, having a motto, but two, I like what's next.
Yeah. Because
you're basically saying to yourself and the world, hey, I'm ready for whatever happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it on.
Yep. And maybe that was built into my mind of my past or my story being in the insurance industry and the goals I had for myself of one day wanting to open up my own business. I had obstacles I had to overcome. I had boxes I needed to check.
Yeah.
I had growth that needed to happen. So always accomplishing a goal. Then once that goal is accomplished, we got to figure out what's next, because it's infinite. You know, the sky's the limit. So got to always get better.
Hey man, that's the right attitude right there. So tell me about some of these obstacles. Because look, you're a pretty young guy, and you've had a great deal of success. And so I really want to learn, like, what are the key things? But what are some of the obstacles you had to overcome?
In my industry and in insurance and the company that I represent, growth inside of, hey, I had to put together certain production metrics. I had to put together a certain business plan that I had to prepare and help put forth in my previous employment before I went to open up my own office, if you will. So those obstacles were putting together ideas, putting together plans, growing personally and professionally, helping the others around me grow personally and professionally, put the work in, and overcoming that, if you will, obstacle, more of a goal than an obstacle. But that's kind of how it's correlated.
Yeah, and I like that because, you know, as a business coach, I see everything all the time. Too many people don't do the thinking, like you're talking about, the business plan, the strategies. They don't put the thinking in to their company when they first open.
Right. Yeah.
And they end up having a rough time just because they think they have a good idea or they have a good product. Look, it's not build it and they will come.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, there's groundwork that needs to be done to prepare yourself to, hey, I'm going to do this because I've done all this. I've prepared. I have my manual or business plan. This is how we're going to do things. If we have a question, we're going to revert back to
that.
here. Yep. This is numbers that make sense of how we're going to get to where we're going. It's our go-to and what I'll look at and revert back to a lot.
I love it. You know, and just the fact that you could be here hanging out with me when you have an agency going says you've been able to build a team.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Do you have a great team?
Yeah, I have a great team. So right now we're a team of 8. I have from interns, part-time in college, to full-time team members. In my specific business, so we're insurance, right? We have a team that takes care of our current clients, and then we have a sales team.
Nice.
So we're both going after the same goal that we're trying to grow. We're trying to help out our customers. We're trying to produce new policies.
Yeah.
But we want to take care of our current clients and at the same time. So all of those folks have different roles. The internship or interns that I have right now, it's something that I'm really passionate about because it's how I got started and how my story started. I was just 19 at the time and got an internship with an insurance company, and never did I intend to want to do insurance or be an insurance agent the rest of my life. It kind of happened. My journey and where I ended up today was really because I decided to do that internship. So huge believer in those interns and internships because it gives them the ability to figure out what they want to do in life, whether it be insurance or, or it could be anything else. Being a part of their journey and help mentor them, I really, really enjoy. I really enjoy working with my sales team and my customer service team just as well, but we're all together going after the same goals, if you will.
I love it. I love it. So were you in school at the time you were doing the internship?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So I was going to UL.
Yeah.
I had this idea that I wanted to build up my resume, but also figure out what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So went to the internship fair and ended up meeting a person there at a booth. We talked about insurance. Didn't know anything about insurance besides I knew I had to have it for my car.
Yeah.
He offered me a position at his office, and I went into a role of a cold caller. So I did that for a little while and ended up becoming insurance licensed. And I kind of asked him one day, hey, how did you open up your own agency? How does that work? Yeah. And he kind of went through the details of how that worked, and I bought in. Mm-hmm. And I spent 4 years with him. He's a mentor of mine still to this day, but I had the ability to fail underneath him. I got the ability to help see success, of helping build his team, of helping recruit from A to Z, to prepare myself to one day when I did open up shop, I would have confidence in myself. Even though I was still young at the time, I was 23 when I opened up my agency. Yeah. I had those years of built up experience, and so I was that much more confident that I knew I could do it because I spent the past 4 years being mentored and spent time learning underneath him. Yeah.
So here's a little light bulb moment, right? What I'm hearing is you went from ground floor, and you trained. So I think of like UPS. Mm-hmm. They're executives who have Harvard MBAs. They all have to do a year on a truck. And so what I'm hearing is what you did is you went ground floor. Yeah. Cold calling to recruiting to sales. You've probably done everything.
Yep.
And so you did have that confidence, and that's very important.
And it wasn't planned that way. I didn't get that internship to say I wanted to be an insurance agent one day or work or open up my own business in regards to insurance. I kind of fell in love with it over the years. And it wasn't necessarily that I fell in love with insurance itself. There's a lot of things that you cannot control in regards to insurance. We are just going with the flow of when it comes to rates set by companies or standards set by the state or Department of Insurance.
Correct.
We are our customer support when it comes to claims and educating them on policies and whatnot. So all that I fell in love with, and going back to starting at the ground floor, it helped me so much in regards to building my own team and starting my own business. There's not a position in my office that I have not worked in.
Yeah, I suspect that.
I know what folks are going through as interns, of coming in the first day and making calls, never working in a business environment before. I know how a difficult customer situation is, or a stressful claim situation is, and can help my team educate that customer and be that support.
Yep.
Same thing for the sale. So that has helped tremendously. I know what my team's going through and can coach and give them support. I can sit back and remember myself going through those exact same times.
Yep. So. Yep. Sure. And how cold calling is not fun.
It's not. It's not. But there's folks that like it. There's a lot more folks that don't like it.
Yeah.
I would say I don't necessarily like it, but I'm a competitive person. I like to talk to people, and I like to win.
That's a huge light bulb there too. Yeah. Because that's where success comes from.
Yeah.
Competitive attitude, loving people, and you win. I love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to do the cold calls.
You do.
If not, you can't find the opportunity. You have failures a lot more than success when it comes to cold calling, but those couple yeses mean that much more and hold a lot of weight of those wins. So
no, I love that. That's great. So you showed up at 19 years old at this intern fair.
Yeah.
You walk it, and this guy has a booth. What do you think he saw in you early on that has helped make you the success you are today?
To be honest, Jeff, I don't even know. I'm surprised he hired me. Maybe I had the hunger to put myself out there to say, hey, I don't know anything about insurance, but I'm looking for a job. I'm looking to build my resume. I'm going for finance right now. I do aspire one day to maybe potentially own my own business. I do have these goals. I'm just looking for a shot, an opportunity. If you can teach me, I'm on board. So maybe just that.
Yeah. Willingness to grow, learn, and that competitive nature.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
So what surprised you most? Look, you've had your agency now 6, almost 7 years. What surprised you in a good way?
I wouldn't necessarily say anything surprised me. Being that I worked for someone else in the same business for a few years, I got to see those surprises before I opened up.
Yep.
We're in an industry that, going back to the words, controlling what you can control and not a lot's in our control. Rolling through the punches, continuing to keep a positive attitude no matter what's going on in life or our team. Nothing surprises me nowadays. I'm ready for the next step. Not a whole lot of things can throw me off if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't have a great answer to that one.
No, it's okay. No, that's good. You actually do have a good answer. You know what I mean? It's just you got to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And be prepared for. This whole thing is about what's next.
Yeah.
And being prepared and having the attitude to take it on.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show. It was like there are a lot of companies that just close their doors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody who's not prepared and they don't have that what next attitude, those are the guys that sometimes close their doors.
Yep.
And that's one of the saddest things there is.
Yeah. It comes back to the mindset of no matter what obstacle's in front of you, if you have the will and drive to overcome that obstacle, I think a person can't get surprised as much.
Yeah.
We can't let that next obstacle affect us. We got to push on, figure out whenever there's a problem, coming together and figuring out a solution rather than just dwelling on that problem.
And you thought you didn't have a good answer.
Yeah. I guess after talking that through, that's what comes to light.
It's outstanding. So helpful.
Yeah.
It really is. So what is next for Blake Johnson?
For me personally, I have goals that I want to see myself being in the next year, next 3 years, next 5 years. We can correlate that to family goals.
Yeah.
Business goals. We have things that we try to go after on a yearly basis, but I would say the long-term goal that I'll always hold high is helping the next customer. Helping the next team member, helping my current team members. For me, I would say what's next, it really correlates to if I went back to my office today and sat down with each one of my team members, helping them figure out what's next.
Yeah, that's huge.
Each individually.
We can't let that one pass. That's huge.
Yeah, because right now we have 8 team members. So if I sat down with 8 of them, we'd come back to the table and have a whole lot of what's next. And me helping them, mentor them and influence them in a positive way and helping them figure out how we're going to overcome those what's next steps is what's my next.
I push this with everybody. You have to have an internal coaching program in your company. Mm-hmm. And it sounds to me like you get that,
Yeah. We're trying not to be stagnant.
Yeah.
There's always more to learn. In the insurance industry itself, it whenever you first get started, it's like drinking out of a fire hose.
Oh, yeah.
It's impossible. There's so many different scenarios, so many different things that can come up in everyday life. But here I'm 11 years into this industry, and I'm learning new things every day. I'm learning new things every week, and I'm never going to be afraid to say that I don't know everything.
No.
But if I don't know it, I'm going to learn it and help you figure it out. Same thing goes for my folks at the office that helps our agency. They're going through the same things. There's things that they don't know, and we're going to help them figure out those things. So
So you mentioned your family. Tell me about your family.
So I have a little girl,
Yeah.
about 2.5. Her name's Kate, and I have a wife, Alexis. She's a business owner herself. Every afternoon after we get done with work, there's things to talk about of my struggles, what I'm going through, struggles that she's going through. Totally different ends of the spectrum on our businesses. She's very creative and diligent in some things, and on my end, I'm creative and diligent in some things. So it works, but I would never be successful in her business, and she does not want to do my business. So it works great. It's a good working relationship and personal relationship when it comes to business.
Yeah, and you support one another. What's funny is you could be in the insurance business and she can be in hers, and you'll end up having very similar situations, and the prescription to overcome that is often very similar. Mm-hmm. Totally different. What does she do?
She is, let's say, Etsy. Etsy is a personalized item website that you can go on Etsy and type in really anything you want, from corporate gifts to wedding gifts to baby gifts. You can find it on there. So she started out on the Etsy side, but also has developed her own website and her own wholesale order website. So
nice. Anything
you can think of personalized items, she can do.
We're gonna have to have her on the show. No pressure. But I just believe that our audience wants to learn more about these startups, these things you start in your home, or the side hustle is what we call it, right? That'd be great.
Yeah. She's been doing great. I'm extremely proud of her. There's trials and tribulations of starting out from scratch, doing it yourself. For my story, I started out under a mentor that I got to learn and grow from. For her, a lot of things she's learning herself and growing from herself. There's no wall behind her or nobody behind her that can tell her, hey, this is the way you need to do things. She has to figure out a lot of things herself, and that's something I'm extremely proud of her for. And it's different struggles, some different struggles than I've went through starting my business.
Yeah. That's interesting. You've been in the insurance game for 11 years, 6 years, 7 years as your owner. Give me some advice for somebody getting into business today.
My advice is figuring out something that you're passionate about, rather than just a dollar sign. That passion is what's going to drive you. You might think that the money's going to drive you, but when you get to a point that potentially you're making that money, what's going to drive you then? Going to work every day, your passion is what's going to make you happy. It's 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, it's going to continue to build your business and make you want to go to work and want to do new things. If you find that passion, take that risk, believe in yourself. It's better to do it yesterday. Take that risk. I know it sounds extremely scary. I know it's a lot of uncertainty, but if not now, when? In going into business for yourself, there's so much reward that comes with that risk. Time is an invaluable thing that you can't put a dollar sign in front of. I would say go after it yesterday. Quit waiting. There's no right moment. There never will be a right moment. So if you're looking for that, it'll never come. Take that jump.
Yeah,
go for it.
There's a lot of gold in there.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Yeah.
As you interact with people, how do you try to leave them different and better than before you met them?
If I'm talking about my customers, I want them to leave more educated than before they sat in front of me. When it comes to insurance, I want them to know what they have, know if certain scenarios happen, claims, a house claim, car claim, lawsuits. I want a person to know, hey, these are the things that I have, and this is what's going to happen and play out if I get these certain coverages, and be better prepared for believing in what they have and knowing that they're protected in the event something does happen. I pride myself in wanting to have those conversations beforehand rather than a claim happening, life happening, and we're having that conversation after it. Yep. And there's things that we could have been proactive before in protecting and educating our customers. So we pride ourselves on that, myself and my team. So team-wise, the answer to that question would be, I want them to become who they're capable of becoming. I know that's a statement that may be a little cheesy. From the bottom up of my agency, that's the way I feel. Those interns that come in and have no business experience and are trying to figure out what they want to do the rest of their life and stressing over school and grades, I want to provide them an opportunity to be a step in their career, in their life of figuring out what they want to do. And I want to watch them go become successful in whatever it is. The rest of my team members, same thing. Probably 90%, 95% of my team that I hire have no insurance experience at all. So teaching them from the ground up of how to educate customers, coverages, policies, different scenarios, watching them learn and grow, and them becoming leaders inside of my office. I really, really enjoy and love to see. Being that mentor, coach, and watching them succeed brings me great happiness.
Yeah.
And it's something that I really love about what I do.
Thanks for tuning in to I Finally Get It. To learn more about Blake and the things he has going on, visit our show notes. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur and you have a light bulb moment that you think would help other business owners, please reach out to me at jeff@ifinallygetit.com.